Hello, everyone. I am back with this is sort of a game development video showcasing For Glory and Pie Cake, which is sort of the next evolution of sort of the game demo that I was working on. Instead of being based on Pokemon, this is kind of more based on Dungeons and Dragons. So it is an 8-bit adventures game taking place in the 8-bit adventures world, but right now it's kind of just in like a little training area sort of thing. This graphic will be changed out to something that's a bit more appropriate and less generic fantasy. But I just wanted to show you guys all kind of this cool stuff that's going on. The sort of demo will be available to patrons first, and then it will be available to the public. That should be coming out pretty soon. So here we have, credits, your game options and stuff. So the credits will show all the credits and everything. So you've got code credits, graphics credits, and all sorts of stuff like that. So why don't we get into the game? So right when you start this demo, and when you start the game, for realsies, you'll have kind of, little cutscenes and stuff that pop up. But this basically, Iggy says, we got to pick our classes. So we're going to pick kind of these classes. The classes are going to be a little more focused than in your traditional RPG. And they will grant you a couple of abilities. But for the most part, you're going to be picking up your skills through a skill menu. So we're going to make Iggy a thief. Your stats are based on your classes, and then you, which character you have kind of augments that. So it's a little bit like D&D in that regard. We're going to make her a champion. We're going to make Frogdor a champion. And we're going to make Cornflakes a thief. So let's kind of go through the menu. So you can see they're all level 1. You have all your graphics and names and stuff. I gotta make new graphics for Cornflakes, since I now have added her to the comic. Still gotta work out some stuff for HP, but right now, these are base HP values for the classes. Up here you have job points, so these are gonna be how you learn your skills, and every skill only costs 1 job point. So you can basically, each character can learn 5 skills right now at level 1. So you have your item screen, so it'll show you what stuff you have. So you can see, don't have any equipment, but everybody starts with leather armor somehow. I have to check that on one plugin. It must be auto-equipping people with leather armor, or it might be a program setting. Under skills, we'll get into that. So this shows you skills that you know, as well as skills that you can learn. So everybody starts with 4 basic skills: hide, distract, disengage, and dash. Hide allows you to hide from enemies in combat, to either set up an ambush or to just reduce the rate at which they attack you. Distract will, it's kind of a support skill for your allies to give them a bonus to hit the enemy. Dash and disengage change which row you're in, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So learn skills just has a full list of skills and everything, and it tells you what the learn cost is. So we're going to give Iggy warrior training, stealth, sneak attack, cunning, and archery. I'm not going to get into the individual skills and what they do in this video, but if you'd like, you can check that out for yourself when it's out, or you can certainly send me a message. Give her a second wind. I will say one important ability is going to be medic, so that is kind of going to give you the ability to revive allies. And that's obviously always an important skill. We're also going to give her... What do we give her? We've got 2 more left. Gonna go athletics to show how you can push enemies around. And, we'll give her Heroic Surge. Alright, Frog Door. Warrior Training. Bravado. Second Wind. Heavily Armored. And Bulwark. Alright, now Cornflakes, we're going to make her kind of an all-out attacker. Finesse. Got 2 left. Let's actually go with Duelist. And... oh, geez. Let's Rock Search. Equip. Just allows you to change your equipment. Don't have any equipment yet. Status screen. So I just have to change around some of the how some of the text shows up, but it gives you your general, your parameters. So as you can see, as a thief, Iggy's got some pretty high stats because these are based on D&D stats. So these are out of like 18. Max is 20. Your weapon stat is how much damage your, quote, weapon does in combat. Elements, just have to change some of these things around, so it's how much elemental damage you take. And then some of your attributes. So, again, just have to kind of play around with the text just to make it fit. But because Iggy is wearing leather armor, and he gets a little bit of a bonus. It reduces his physical damage rate by 4%. So formation is to change around your party order. But row, this is what we're going to do. So this is what I was talking about before. So you have your front row and your back row. You want to put enemies that might be spellcasters or squishy people that can use ranged weapons. You want to put them in the back row because enemies will have to fight through your front row to get to them. Now, it's important to note that if you have melee weapons equipped, you cannot use them from the back row. And if you have ranged weapons equipped, they will deal less damage in the front row. And then options, save, and game end. Alright, so now that we've got our skills, why don't we explore around the map a bit? So you got this chest. Cool, some items in gold. So now we have 30,000 gold. Woo! Now let's go buy some stuff with that gold. Alright, so arrows, healing potions, med kits. Let's grab 5 healing potions. Some med kits, because Melody's medic ability will consume med kits, and so we definitely want her to be able to use those. We'll give Iggy a longbow. We'll give Melody and Cornflakes longswords. Now you notice that I wasn't able to just like tab over and increase or decrease the number of items bought. That is kind of a thing to work out right now. Because each item is independent, will have like its own stats and its own augments and stuff like that. So you have to buy them one at a time because they can't stack. So right, Frog Door. Frog Door is gonna get a maul. I want to give him a nice big old two-handed weapon. Give Cornflakes a short sword. Now for armor, give Iggy some studded leather. Give Cornflakes some scale mail. Give Melody a breastplate. And because Frogdoor can wear heavy armor, we're going to give him some splint mail. And we'll give Melody a shield. And we'll pick up some more arrows. Because your ranged attacks will consume arrows. And if you run out of arrows, you'll have to switch to a melee weapon. Or just whatever doesn't consume arrows. You can sell, and you can equip items directly from here. Alright, so Iggy's got a longbow equipped, but let's say that, you know, we have this offhand slot that's empty. What if we want to equip a short sword or a shield in the offhand slot? Well, a bow you have to use 2 hands to use, so you can't equip something in the offhand slot while you have a bow equipped. Same goes with your maul, because it's a 2-handed weapon. So we'll do that. Equip his studded leather. Forgot to equip breastplate. Give her a longsword. Now, short sword, because it's a light weapon, you can equip it in the offhand slot. Alright, so we're done with that. And you see there's also a crafting option down here. So it looks like we picked up some crafting items. So let's check that out. So your crafting recipes will appear grayed out, and they won't have a name to them, but they'll show you the ingredients. So you can actually plan ahead and do that. So, you know, you can probably try and guess what some of the items are based on the ingredients. So an arrowhead, a stick, and a feather, these are probably to make arrows. Fire bloom and a bottle is probably to make some kind of fire potion thing. Chemical in a bottle, probably make like poison or acid or something. Heart shroom and a bottle, maybe to make a healing potion. But this right here, so it requires an alchemist fire and an arrow. So why don't we make that? So that made a flame arrow. And an acid in an arrow might be an acid arrow. So this looks like iron and coal, maybe to make steel. Then you can craft weapons and armor. So, one of the things is, so we made a flame arrow. Because ranged attacks consume arrows, what happens if it consumes a flame arrow? Well, flame arrows, you know, they don't get consumed by ranged attacks. They're actually an augment that you can use for your bows. So you go under bows, and you see that it has an augment under there. Your other weapons don't have them. You can equip that, and what that does is now all of my ranged attacks with Iggy will deal fire damage and have a chance to burn the enemy. So I don't have some item descriptions in here yet, but I'm going to add those. But the tent is a cool item. Actually, I'll show what the tent does instead of describing it. So use it. It says, should we set up camp? Say yes. So it takes you to a little tent. So it's like you're setting up camp. Take a rest. No. So you can rest up. This little fire in here will let you cook. You can leave, and it takes you right back to where you were. Alright. So walk around down here. So we've got some enemies that are set up. So this bat or the scarecrow. But these wooden logs you can actually harvest to get wood, which you can use for crafting. Alright, now before we get into fighting some enemies, let's go down into this cavern. So, might add some scene transitions in there, but you can see that it just brings you back and forth. So you can do some mining. And as you can see, these will give you either iron or coal. Alright, so now that we got that stuff, let's get out of here. Oh. Nope. Go down to crafting. And you see that we can now make steel. Alright, so we only have 2 coal, so we can only make 2. Got that. We made steel. So now we can make these. Ooh, now what's this? We can make a hand crossbow. You know what? We'll make club and a great club. All right. So now that we have a whole bunch of cool stuff, let's go fight an enemy. Bats, rats, or a training dummy. We're going to fight rats. So as you can see in combat here, you have your turn order displayed in the upper right. So once a person acts, they go back to the right of the turn order. You have your characters. This up here will show what action they're going to take. The way turns work is you select your thing, and then the action happens. So you have some things over here. You notice that there's an equip command that allows you to change your equipment during combat. I know, super cool, right? So this is primarily for if you run out of arrows and you need to switch to a melee weapon. You can do that and then kind of switch up. Got items, guard to defend, your skills, and your attacks. So for Iggy, we definitely want him to kind of hide and get a drop on an enemy. So we're going to pick Vanish because it's an instant skill, so it allows us to do it for free. Now, hiding is not guaranteed. Yeah, so that did not work. All right. And you notice a lot of your instant stuff is on a cooldown. So we're going to try and hide again. Nope. Did not work. Iggy could not hide from those enemies, so feels bad, man. Feels bad. What we're going to do is we're going to target one of these giant rats. And you notice how I can't select the bat, because this is a melee skill. And so we want to push that rat back. So that pushed it to its back row. So now, theoretically, it should not be able to attack. Oh no, it might still be able to attack people in the back row. Alright. Alright, let's heroic surge this. Do some damage. So you can see Cornflake's dealing a whole lot of damage. Looks like Action Surge still isn't quite working out the way I want it to, but because it's supposed to give you a whole bunch of extra actions. We're going to have Frogdor use Bravado. Now what that does is Frogdor taunted everybody. But yeah, I might need to set the turns a little bit. Alright, we're going to have Iggy try and hide again. There we go. So I have to adjust kind of the row positioning a little bit, but as you can see, Iggy is hiding behind a boulder. And then this will allow him to do some big damage. So because Iggy's using ranged weapon, he can attack the giant bat. Well, not quite the big damage that we were hoping for, but there we go. He must not have rolled very high on his check. So both Melody and Frogdor have taken a little bit of damage, so we're going to use Second Wind on Melody. Now, because that was an instant skill, we get to do something else. So we're going to use First Aid on Frogdor. Now you see this icon? This icon indicates that Frogdor has been bandaged. With First Aid, he cannot benefit from First Aid again until he rests. Oh no. Now, because the only enemies that are left are both in the back row, you can freely attack any of the back row enemies. There we go. That's the damage that I was looking for. Now, melee attacks have a chance to proc a counterattack from the enemy, and that's what you just saw. So that's another thing to keep mind of. Ranged weapons do not proc counterattacks, and characters with the mobility skill will reduce the likelihood of counterattacks against them. So that's a thing to keep mind of. There we go. Got a little screen. So everybody gained 4 experience points for defeating those scary, scary beasties. And you've got, you know, you don't necessarily earn JP in battle until you level up. And we got some animal hide. So because we got some animal hide, let's break it down. So if you select the animal hide, you can disassemble it. And you can use a leathers workers kit to essentially create 2 leather from it. So let's do that. So now we got 2 leather. Let's do it again. So now we got a whole bunch of leather. We can select the leather to break it down into leather strips. Now you see we're able to craft some cool stuff. What's this down here? Half plate. Oh, that's wrong. You should not be able to make half plate with leather. Okay, so I gotta change that up in the ingredient recipe. So yeah, that's what we got, folks. Oh, so First Aid. Let's use that. And we'll use Healing Potion on Frogdor. Alright, so let's go back and use our tent item. Set up camp. Now you see everybody's refreshed. So, head back out. And, yeah. So that's it. That's kind of the extent of what everything is in this game. So, hopefully, if you want to get a chance to test it out, by all means. Like I said, it'll be coming soon. And to patrons first. So if you really want to get the jump on that, head on over to patreon.com/8bitadventures. And for further updates on this game, as well as any of my other projects, head on over to 8bitadventures.com. That's the number 8-bitadventures.com. So big shout out to all the patrons for helping make projects like this possible. And hope to see you all in game. Alright, so this is Sean signing off. Remember, folks, have fun, happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake.